So the question remains, Victor Wembanyama or Chet Holmgren?
He's not making that spin move to score.
Something I know you can do. We're gonna open a jar. Easy. Now you try. First, get a jar. No. No. No.
Yes.
Holmgren! Wow. Holy cow.
Someone commented on the Victor Wembanyama video the other day. Shout out to Naruto Uzumaki has a runny nose. And yes, that is his actual name. He said Chet versus Victor. That's actually a great idea. Let's do a video about that. Who would you guys rather take, Chet Holmgren or Victor Wembanyama? We're also taking into account, too, that Chet Holmgren would not be injured and he would be playing in the league. So if Chet were playing, who would you take, Victor Wembanyama or Chet Holmgren? We'll start off with Chet Holmgren here. Chet Holmgren is listed at 7'1", 195 pounds. He averaged 14.1 points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game, 3.7 blocks per game, and had a 61% field goal percentage his freshman year at Gonzaga. Pretty solid stats considering he was playing for a team that had a lot of hype. Playing at Gonzaga, he won WCC Newcomer of the Year, WCC Defensive Player of the Year, and went to the All-WCC First Team, which is very impressive. Was first in the WCC for blocks per game, first in rebounds per game, and first in field goal percentage, as well as fourth in the country in blocks per game, which makes him one of the best ranked defenders going into the last draft we just had. And his averages as a freshman at Gonzaga were pretty impressive. So impressive that there were only 51 other individual seasons by men's basketball players since the 92-93 season where players would average the same stats as him, including players like Tim Duncan and Emeka Okafor. That is really high praise for Chet Holmgren to be on the same list as players like Tim Duncan and Emeka Okafor. Some key takeaways for Chet Holmgren: he's an elite rim protector, one of the best defenders on the weak side block, and a really good perimeter defender as well. One of the best going into last draft. Offensively, an extreme ball handler for his size. People compare his ball handling skills and the ability to drive around to Steph Curry's ability to drive around, which is crazy considering the fact that this dude is 7'1". Holmgren's also very good in points in transition, ranking in the 93rd percentile. Now we move on to Victor Wembanyama. You got to keep in mind, too, with Victor, that Victor hasn't played as many games as Chet, so you got to take some of these stats with a little grain of salt here. But Victor Wembanyama, listed at 7'4", 230 pounds, so taller and heavier, averages 7 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, 1.8 blocks per game, and 42% field goal percentage in the EuroLeague. The key difference with Victor is he also played in the G League, has a 42% true shooting percentage in the G League, has a 50% three-point shot, averages 36.5 points per game, 50% on field goal attempts, also has 15 total rebounds. Victor Wembanyama also gets a ton of praise from players and fans, which is not that big of a deal, but I figured I'd mention that. Key takeaways you got to take with Victor Wembanyama: really valued on offense from the mid-range as well as the three-point. Being at 7'4", he is incredibly skilled from the three-point shot. Like I said, playing in the G League, 50% from three. Victor is very physical and can keep up with a lot of bigger defenders. Also has some of the best passing skills coming into next year's draft. Now let's talk about the key differences between Chet and Victor. To start off, we have to talk about both these players' builds. Victor Wembanyama is just built better for success in the NBA. Still a big question mark and still very serious to look at his weight with that height, if he puts on more weight, if he could stay healthy. Victor is way better built than Chet is, being as Chet's 7'1", 195 pounds. Dude's a literal twig. He's axing to get injured, and he already has. Victor's listed as a center, but this dude could probably play as a high-end power forward 1 or even a low-end small forward 1. Another key difference to take away is that Victor, like I was saying earlier, has a deep, consistent three-point shot. And just the way he shoots the three ball, the mechanics are so smooth, and the ball comes off the fingertips as if it's flying like an airplane through the air with no turbulence. It comes off perfect form every time. Chet, however, is a more dynamic perimeter defender. Like I said, Chet is one of the best ranked defenders in last draft. Chet is very good at playing on the perimeter. And on the inside, when he's not getting bullied, he's elite when it comes to rim protection and stuffing out pick and rolls. Whereas Victor Wembanyama is extremely good when it comes to the inside protection, the perimeter defense, slow off the ball, doesn't fight through the screens. Overall, not nearly as good as Chet Holmgren is. Both are also very similar elite mid-range jumpers. However, I got to give the slight edge to Victor Wembanyama. Like I said, the mechanics just look way better on Victor. If you watch him play, Victor has this way of shooting the basketball like Kevin Durant or Dirk Nowitzki, or even a combination of both, that a lot of players, especially at 7 foot, just can't do. Chet, very good still at the mid-range. I think he's not nearly as good as Victor Wembanyama is. Which leads us to the final decision. Am I taking Victor or am I taking Chet? And I'm going to take Victor Wembanyama here. I think Victor Wembanyama has so much more to offer than Chet Holmgren does. Less likely to get injured, which is the biggest reason why I had to take Victor Wembanyama. Also, I like Victor's mechanics and shooting ability more than I like Chet's. If I'm going to take a defender, though, it's got to be Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren is going to be an elite defensive player in the NBA if he can manage to put on more weight, because he's going to get bullied on the inside. But that's not enough to take Chet over Victor, because Victor has way too much to offer. One of the best talents we've ever seen coming into the draft. Unreal what Victor Wembanyama can do. Super excited to see both these guys play. So that's my take on Victor versus Chet. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know in the comments who you guys are taking. Are you taking Victor Wembanyama or are you taking Chet Holmgren? I'm really interested to hear this conversation. Want to see where it goes. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.